Hey everyone, this is Fang here. I know what you may be thinking about the title. Well, I'm here to say that all will be answered to all of you at once by the very fabrication that made me lose it all to the first time. But I trust you all. I trust you guys enough to really know. As said before, you may have heard about the Nova side. Someone that helped me get a friend back. Someone I knew and called a duel before loss of communication. Well, so to stick to my word, I'll be honest to you all. Nova was never real. She was, in a sense, a figment of my imagination. Originally, I know the purpose for Nova, but the reasoning behind why it sadly correlates with what's happening today. One's word against the other, and my fear. 30. From the first meeting on January 6th, second encounter the next day, to revisitation on February 20th, to leaving again on March 7th, was my fear. I know that you may ask why, and why I remember all this. It's because I always remember moments in my life, but also that after this time period was where I was afraid. Now, Freddy was someone I only saw again due to an RP, otherwise known as roleplay, in play at the moment. Serge invited him, but I'll admit I had that fear/anger mode, but we talked the same day. After mostly venting to myself and a minor role given that was called the Promise Breaker was placed on him. After a while, we actually managed to talk, and I decided to leave it I decided to leave it so that the role was soon to be deleted. So I deleted the role afterwards. We talked for a while. Some saw some key points of why Annie was upset, and by the end he came with an agreement. He'll be my friend as long as I didn't speak or go back to Annie. We promised and agreed. Then March 7th came, to where I was checking Discord while seeing DMs. I noticed the status change with Ferdy. I asked about the block in his status. He was surprised, but it was a black square that I guessed on it was being a block. He said that he can explain. I expected to know if he was blocked by someone, but instead it was me. And yes, I got an anxiety attack. He specified it to be of all my problems, and we VC'd for a bit. I asked questions at the end, and he revealed it to be that it was because of our past, the past I didn't fully understand back then in March. It was only until around April where I actually found out mostly fully of the whole story. I didn't fully understand it, but between me and Annie, it was most likely knowing that sticking around for the unknown was dangerous for him. So, he had a decision there. I don't blame him for actually leaving now anyways. He took back on our deal and promised by a bit he was gone. While I was in the bathroom crying over that, and yes, I'll admit here that it was stupid to think of now that on my part, I was literally crying in the bathroom in a corner and literally kicking a trash can against the wall. It's kind of dumb, to be honest. I literally overreacted on actually losing him there. But soon after that, one day I was accused for stealing from Surge. I was banned from his server and everything was gone. Me thinking how Freddy was still against me for an incomplete investigation of what I already knew. I feared that he may continue and probably try to convince Surge in a way. In thinking so, I had an alternative. This alternative was where I literally posted my credit card information and everything online to everyone that didn't believe me or I somewhat trusted. And with that, I made a big mistake there. For soon afterwards, like after everything was cooling down, there was like a breach in my debit and credit card somehow where literally some unknown source was spending like $1 every like few hours until it drained everything. But after a few days, Serge came back like 4 to 5 days later from what happened. He came back and told me that it was like this one side of him that didn't want to speak with me. After a while, we saw it was a misunderstanding, but to where this all begins and why you're already here is because of someone called Nova Star. So, Nova Star was a 16-year-old, young, inspired journalist, always out there for the scoop. Supposed goal was to make friends, but when reality hit, it was love and some care from others, to where it was just one day where this account was already in the server and things were happening. The thing is, I really didn't want to break Dexter's happiness in the spot. I know how it would have felt for him, and to be honest, he's had it difficult from too many people on him to being alone. I couldn't bring myself to decline, but that was my first calling. Serge came to ask me after Dexter the same day, though we were good. The thing was, since Ferdy was still on the server, our only communication so subtly was actually through the DMs. He asked me to be real and tell him if Nova was me. The best suggestion and speculation was my way of speech. With that, there was a chance, but I put it off and told them something to be done. Before continuing, I wanted to say that for some reason people hear others, but never the individual. I myself find that sad, and I feel bad for that. Was something I did with Annie back then. I asked some friends to ask, like me, what was wrong with me and Annie. I was so desperate back then to find out how to fix it, but instead of giving him time, well, I didn't give him time and things went that way. I was just really desperate to talk to him and find out a solution back then. Anyways, onwards from this, but the thing is that first day, my first fuck over was to literally call it off as if it wasn't me. But the thing is that I was there for the purpose to find out if someone may have tried to convince him or anything. So I regret actually doing that, to be honest, but I needed to find out what I could do. It was difficult to actually find out. I'm sorry everyone for that. Alright. So on the second day, I think I talked to some people, like Private and possibly Brian. The next few days I started with Ferdy. He told me that line I heard so many times, what he told others. Okay, continuing on. Had a slight interruption. So, I heard many times that he told others this one specific thing. And it's what everyone else already believed. After the second interruption, I had to pause the video as if nothing happened. But continuing on with this, it was a way of seeing me as a bad person and what happened when I stole my mom's card to pay it back by the next month. I think about a day afterwards, I started talking to Adasik. Skip later was talking, playing Ocradia, I think, is the game's name, and just staying silent at times. There wasn't really much I could actually do, to where some things came, such as talking to Adasik and for him to see the good side again. Feeling good on a new game. That new game being that one game I tried to pronounce Acredia. To Ferdy leaving due to a bit of mentioning of the word fang. And just being there for someone I lost at that moment. But to be true, Nova changed my life. It really seemed giving things time and letting others see the good it made great. The thing was that Nova actually had great impacts on Dexter and Adasik to where it got a bit difficult. So I needed to do something to where here was another fuck over in my life. And this I've put out as my dumbest idea yet. To fake Nova's death. Yup, to freaking kill off a person. That made a great impact. I saw how much of a great impact that actually made on some people. It was the most fucking dumb idea I've actually fucking dealt with. I even made a freaking fake memorial on her fucking death. To one day me and Adasik talked where I did the memorial and he kept a star next to his server name. He was also getting a necklace to remember her by, but to be honest, I was really unsure and wanted to let him know, maybe not. But then a few days later, I see this picture and saw it hanging on the top there. I'm not gonna lie, I actually felt some shit and knew this shit went far and noted it, but I was really just in the stun. Later on, time passed, but I was skipped forward to where on Roblox I asked Adasik to play and we played. I, myself in the game, used a no-clip to help others complete the maps and games easily, and he got mad. Now, I'm gonna explain to you why he got mad here. The thing is that I didn't recognize that he was gonna be mad over, like, disadvantages on others, but the thing is that I tried to help them so they could escape the level faster. But something that Adasik doesn't like, and I know from that experience, is that he doesn't like cheaters, in a sense. So there was also this one time, yeah, where like he was spectating me and he saw me like literally using my no clip, and that's how it went from there. Somehow I was saying I didn't affect him, but then I found out that one round he was actually Piggy in the game Piggy from Roblox. So he actually has some defense there because I thought I wasn't affecting him, but in one round I actually did affect him. So he left, and later on I asked Techi if he wanted to play with me. We ended up playing Flee the Facility, and another dumb fucking idea was that after him leaving on Piggy due to me using a no clip, I later asked a few minutes later if he wanted to play Flee the Facility. And because of this, I got a reasonable response to where he responded by something like, "Do I fuck what?" And that was understandable. And I'm like, I just wanted to ask him, but it's alright, I have Techi with me, so if you don't want to join, it's alright. But since people can interpret words in one way than the other, he interpreted it a bit of the wrong way to where I see where he was coming from. On where it sounded kind of mean, but it wasn't intended to be mean. So after reading it back, I understood what he meant by it sounding that way. Even though it shouldn't have. It actually somewhat did. I found out after that his feelings were mixed. To where a few days later I was pulled into a surprise court meeting thinking I was there to help to be stripped off my roles. For summary, there was 3 claims. I had a voice, given 3 days to defend. It ended by the next morning from that night where it all started. And the mass abandoning started with at a server, then Tetchies, Foxes, Evons, Surges, Bryans, and some others. Now, the main reason this started up was because he wanted to let others know of the past. Something that should have been forgotten. And the thing is about these 3 claims, I tried to fix it with him, but he never actually told me what I could actually fix it with. And the trigger effect from what I know of this was when he misunderstood when I said, I'm playing with Tenchi right now. He thought that it was like sounding mean, even though I didn't mean it to sound mean. It came out that way, and that was the trigger effect to start this off. I also do remember that on June 1st, I vented out to Zero on the DMs through text. It was around around the morning time of June 1st. And it was almost like, okay, so it was like probably 10 to 11 a.m. And I literally suggested music that I heard from Piggy, but then I came back like around the middle of the day and asked him like a question of how he was and stuff like that, and he was already mad at me, saying like that like all that happened and you're just gonna come here to try to make things better. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And he showed me like a part of our DM where I was venting, and he said this all came from me being cautious. And I was trying to make him understand he got the wrong idea. It was basically that I was venting of how my life was going, and that I was sorry that if he felt it was with him, I didn't mean it to be with him, and I didn't mean for him to get emotional over it. The thing is that I just needed someone to hear me, and I made the mistake of actually telling Zero all of it because he got emotional and he felt it was on him, even though it wasn't completely on him. Anyways, onward from June 2nd to the 3rd. So, on the court case, I provided what I wanted to say, but no one heard. I lost those important and close to me, including my brothers. I had sayings in my head, like the spiked wall, where it's rather better to actually walk away from that spiked wall than run straight at it, because there really isn't going to be change if things like this have already happened. And to keep moving. Today here, I wanted to say that though I have all the hate I kind of deserve it. Especially the shape up and ship out sentence that Serge gave me on his stream. I never wanted to lose everyone, or my brothers, but it was the past that came back. And how I didn't tell those close to me the truth. Serge was right. This time, I went too far. I understand why they're still gone and what happened, especially how I lost my bros, Serge, Zero, and Dexter. I know nothing will change. I know nothing can be done, but if I could do anything, I'll do it. I truly miss my brothers, but I know it's all done. But even if you're gone, I'm sorry. To you and everyone hurt. At the moment, I don't even care about Annie's fuss on not letting go and continuous support for seeing more wrong on me. That's not there even if I only watch his streams for entertainment and chill, or how somehow he hides people that aren't even like involved with whatever me and him have. But at the end, it's up to decisions. On and on these kinds of things, he's just being cautious. I understand he's just being cautious. He doesn't want to know anything about me. And that's understandable. So, even though if I wasn't involved with him for months, if I wasn't involved for him for months and came back when things started to get like really heavy on me again, life, you sometimes just need to move on. Again, I'm sorry for everything that I've done. And if anything, I'll try to fix what I can. For now, I won't bother and respect your paths until a new one opens. I'm truly sorry for everything that's happened to all of you. If I could go back and actually fix something, I would. This is Fang, signing out. Hopefully all of you are having a great day. Until next time, love you all. No homo though.